After designing their products, building their prototypes, and then testing them, students will create posters to present their products to the class. Students designed their products in groups, but they built and tested prototypes by themselves. Now they'll have an opportunity to combine their own test results with the results from their group members. It's likely that students built their prototypes differently from their group members and got different results in their tests. So this is a great chance to see what effects those differences and changes have on the success of their prototypes. The poster is a group effort. Each group should be sure to include information and visuals to explain how the product works, the data from the prototype tests, and an explanation of the results. The explanation should explain not just what the results were, but why those results were obtained. What factors related to thermal energy transfer caused those results? How did the product reduce or enhance thermal energy transfer? Why did different group members get different results? Remind students that if they're not sure, they can return to the article, videos, and simulations from Task 4. So how can students make a poster together? Although students who are in person might be able to collaborate on a physical poster, students working remotely will need to create a poster digitally that they can all contribute to together. There are many options for students to do this online. Google Slides is a great option for students because of Google Drive's great sharing abilities. It's also likely that students are familiar with this platform already, at least as users, if not creators. It's easy to create a new presentation by just clicking blank or one of the other templates. You can select one of the themes to the right if you'd like a common look across all of your slides if you're making a multi-slide poster. The default slide that pops up has a text box for a title and another for a subtitle. But if you want a different look, you can either delete those text boxes or go up to the new slide with layout to the drop-down area here next to the plus sign. Here you'll see all of the different formats that come with the template or the theme that you've chosen. For example, if I go to the momentum theme and then go to add new slide with layout, you'll see now the same ideas, the same arrangements of text boxes, but a drastically different look. There are also websites like SlidesGo or SlidesCarnival.com that have a lot more templates that are readily available for use with Google Slides. The tools that you'll need to make your poster are all pretty much right here at the top. Create a new text box. You can add an image either by uploading one from your device or by just searching the web right here in Google Slides. You can add shapes and lines and all of the formatting tools for your text boxes, including fonts, colors, text formatting, all of the usual things. It's up to you if you want to create a one-slide poster with all of the information organized here in just one space, or it might be easier to create a multi-slide poster presentation, especially if you need more space to include data or images. For example, you could have one slide with a data table, another with images of your group's prototypes. Of course, the main advantage to using Google Slides in the first place is that you can contribute easily and collaborate with a group. First, click the Share button at the top. And here you can add the names of people by typing their names or emails. If you don't know their emails, or if it's easier to share it this way, you can come down here to Get Link, change this to anyone with the link, and then make sure it's changed to Editor, if you want them to be able to edit the slides. Then you can copy the link and send it to them in another way. Google Slides does have a couple of templates built in that might be helpful for you. Science Fair and Science Project both contain some great organization. They each come pre-organized with several sections that you might find helpful when creating your poster. For example, the problem or challenge that you're trying to address, data for your experiment, what you discovered, and key takeaways and conclusions. That's the Science Fair template. The Science Project template has a lot of the same sections. It's just organized differently and it has a different look. You can put your main question, and here you can see that they've used the different types of slides to break up the presentation into different sections. There are lots of other templates as well. If you click on Template Gallery, you can scroll through them all, find one that works best for you. Here's a provided template that will probably be most helpful for students. It's already organized and broken up into several sections. In the introduction, students should write a brief description of their product and its purpose. Note the guidance to resist the urge to fill all white space. Materials and methods should be used for students to explain how they tested their prototypes, while results should contain the data from the experiment. Conclusions should then contain the explanation of the results, why those results were obtained. Students may not need the literature cited section unless they did outside research for their prototype design earlier in this task. Acknowledgements could be used for any outside help that students received, such as from parents, and further information could contain a link to their Tinkercad design, perhaps, or other relevant findings or information they used. Obviously, students can feel free to edit or change this template as they see fit, but this contains the major sections of information that they would need to include. They should also be sure to change the title, perhaps something related to their product, something catchy, and of course put their own names as the authors. The goal here is to keep things based on the data and the experimental tests that students have run, less emphasis on the marketability of their design. Those are some of the options that students have to create a poster digitally so that they can collaborate with group members even if they're not all in the same space. There are plenty of other options online. Your students might even be using some of those options already. It could be helpful to ask them. No matter which platform they use, the expectation is that their poster will explain how the product works, show data to support the fact that it works, and explain where those data came from.